Okay, good afternoon. Let's start the demo for Angular plus JSON server using HTTP client. So first, what we have done, we are creating an Angular project called as employee project. That's happening here, EMP project, and we will do the code in this Visual Studio Code. Second thing, for backend, we are using JSON server. JSON server to start with a db.json file. Right? So let's create a folder here for backend, and there I'm going to create one file called db.json. So copy the location, open an editor, save it in the same location, name it as db.json all files. So this will be a JSON, and we are going to have employees, right? So employees, it's an array of employees. That's all right. And how one employee will be there, a JSON I'm going to define. Every employee should have ID, sample one record I'm going to add. That should be first name, can be anything, comma, last name, can be anything, department, and so on. Right? So department is, time being I'm keeping it simple, string only. So this is our db.json. So how we are going to run our JSON server? JSON-server db.json. So we got it, and let's go to this URL. Control C, Chrome browser. So employees, nothing is there. Some error occurred, address already in use. Okay, I think I have already run another server. So where is it running? Not here, not. Okay. Type yes plus enter to create snapshot. Okay. Error number 43000. Which command prompt it is running? Here it is running. So I'm going to stop it. Control C. Yes. Fine. Again, I'm going to run that here. This time, okay, there's one employee. Fine. I hope Angular project is created. Let's go inside the project folder. Let us run this. Now ng serve. This will run. So what all we have done, using db.json, we have started a server. The server has, this JSON server has an employees array. Time being dummy on employee object I have defined. The first step, we are going to create a component. If you want, we can have a scaffolding first. Already there will be a app component, right? src app, and if you see app component.html, this content I will delete them. So let's create a component called employees, right? Create a component called employee. For that, ng generate component employee. Fine. Here I can see which is running, not yet running. Control Shift tilde. We got a terminal now. Ng generate component called employee. The component is created. I'm going to plug app-employee. App-employee. You can verify it in TS file. App-employee is correct. Running, not yet running. When it runs, we can see that. So we are going to create one reactive form. So what are the things to be added to the app module.ts? We go to import section of app module.ts. Basically we need forms module, reactive forms module. It is not helping me now. Reactive forms module. This should be imported manually, comma, like this, right? Then what we need to do, we need to import HTTP client module. Again, it's not helping me. We have to import it. Import something from Angular common / HTTP. We need to remember this. In some situations, we need to type it. So HTTP client module is important. I hope whatever we need is being imported, right? So note it down. In app module.ts we have imported done. So let's create a service that accesses the backend. Let's create a service class. How? Ng generate service employee. So let's go to Control Shift tilde. I think it is still running. Ng generate service employee. We will get employee.service.ts. Yes, it's running. Time employee works. Good. Similarly, here this service is under construction. Employee.service.ts. Got it, right? So what we are going to have, the URL is equal to, copy this URL from JSON server, right? This is a base URL. So paste it here. Fine. And in constructor, what we need to inject, private HTTP client, and few methods we need to write. First method, to retrieve all employees. So we are running Angular in 4200, but JSON server is running in 3000, right? So cross origin. Okay. Return this .http dot. What is the HTTP method to retrieve all employees? Get. So URL should be this dot URL. Next, add employee. That means employee object should be given as an argument. What is the method to add an employee? Post this dot URL comma employee. This time employee object is sent in the body. You know, in Postman you have seen body raw JSON, right? Body. Next, update employee. Employee any. What is the HTTP method to update? Put. And now when you use put, we have to append the URL with /id, right? Where is id? Employee object itself is there, means employee.id. Then comma employee object should be given. So in Postman, you might have observed this put mapping. Whenever we do put mapping, we say /id and also we give the object. So that same pattern we are using here. URL /id. Where is id? The entire employee object is there. One of the member is .id, comma employee object. Then what is the delete employee? So when we delete employee, id is enough. id is a number. What is the HTTP method to delete? Delete this dot URL appended with a slash id. So all the methods is a find by id. Also we can have retrieve find employee by id send return this dot http dot get of this dot url appended by id. In old versions of Angular, the return type must be mentioned. So return type was observable. Nowadays in new versions, I am saying return statement, it is automatically implied. What type is returned? We don't need to mention. In old versions of Angular, we have to specify the return type. Data type. So service is ready. In component, we are going to inject this service. So private employee service injected. Now all the employees I'm going to retrieve and store in an array employees of type any. Then in init method I'm going to call that service. This dot employee service dot retrieve all employees is a method subscribe. What is the callback I'm going to get? Use arrow function. Response we get is actually a data. So this dot employees is equal to response. Now we are going to verify that. Let's go to employee component.html and check if it is working fine or not. We are going to check console.log of this dot employees. Let's see that here. Right click, inspect console. So employee works in employee component.ts console.log started is there. Can you see an array of object is coming? Jag India department. So from REST API we got an array. We need to display it in HTML. So let's go for table. What are the classes? Table. Oh, these things include bootstrap CDN. So we need a bootstrap CDN. Internet is required. Okay. Connected. We have used bootstrap 3, 4. Next we should learn 5. Bootstrap 5 would be the trend. Bootstrap CDN. CSS. Copy. Index.html. Paste. Now table border, table stripe, table cover. What are the headings? ID, name or first name? First name. Then very good. Okay. T body. Now this tr should be in a for loop. We have imported forms module already, so we can use ng for f capital. Suppose when I say f capital, you sleep and then you will do hands on, that time f, it will not work, right? Let e of employees. Then we need to have td, right? First one is id, second one is e dot id, right? E dot first name, e dot last name. After that, e dot department. Okay. Now what we see here, one row is there that is coming, right? Okay. Let's have a form above this, right? Form. If it is a reactive form, we should start from TypeScript. So let's go for employee component.ts. We need to declare one employee form, anything, right? Then what we need to do, dependency injection here, form builder. Again, form builder is not coming here. What we will do, import from Angular forms. Angular forms. So now if you use control space, it will not importing means copy paste. Okay, you should be ready to do that also. Then this dot employee form equal to form builder dot group. It accepts a JSON. What are the JSON? ID, first name, come on, kindly participate, last name, department. Correct? Huh? Now coming to the form, copy this to the HTML. Form group equal to ID, first name, last name, department, number, form, control, name equal to ID. Input type equal to text. ID, first name, last name, department. Add button. Then we can have update button. Then we can have delete button. Now it looks like one form, right? Okay. Okay. If you use form control, it will fill across all, no? That's what form icon control. Long text box. So what we can do is this form, entire form can be inside a column. So row, a row can contain column. 3 columns or 12 by 3? 4. So I can put this one there. This is enough now. This becomes second column. Fine. Now this looks like form. For confirmation, we can display the contents here. Interpolation employee form dot value. What type should I use? JSON 5. Fine. 1, 2, 3. It's all working fine. Okay. So already there is one record here. We are going to access. Okay. Add button. What we have done? We have not done any code for add button. So let's create a function in TypeScript and bind it to the button click. All these things should be inside the class. Fn add. Fn add. What this fn add is going to do? I think we have done it in wrong location. It should be inside the class, but not inside that method. Here. What we are going to add, we are going to display in a log. Console.log. This dot employee form dot value. This is the object we are going to send. Send where? Employee service dot add employee of this dot employee form dot value. Subscribe. Every time you call a service method, you subscribe, you get the result as a data. And we can display that also console.log of data. Now inspect. Console is clear. Let's add second record. Dinesh Srinivasan CSE is MCA. Okay. Add. So when I click add button, nothing happens because function only we created. We didn't do binding. Meditating we will. So add is a button. Click is equal to fn add. Now to Dinesh Srinivasan MCA add. So what we are sending, what we received. Now let's refresh this page. Can you see there are two records, right? Add is done. Let's go for update. So for update, I am going to create one more function. Fn update. Again, same code. Only the difference is instead of add employee, it should be update employee, right? Let's go for verification. Number 2, Dinesh Srinivasan becomes MCA to MBA. Update. Now nothing. It is not bound now. Data event binding is not done. Click. Go to your fn update. Number 2, Dinesh Varadarajan MBA. Update. Now refresh the screen. Can you see Dinesh Srinivasan become Varadarajan MBA? Next, what is that pending? Fn delete. So for delete, we need only the ID. Okay. So console.log of this dot employee form dot controls dot id dot value. Now this dot es dot delete employee of that id only, employee form dot controls dot id dot value, right? id dot value dot subscribe. You will get a response as data arrow function and display that also here data. So let's bind this in HTML. Event binding fn delete. Okay, let's delete the second item, number 2, delete. Okay, now refresh. It's gone, right? So all things are done. So we have completed the demo.